What's up? It's your boy, Cemenwix72, back at it again with another banger video. Today, boys and girls, we are doing another cheeky Dracotail gameplay video, you know. I've still got loads of different decks that I want to cover, deck profiles, you know, gameplay and all that, but for now, we're still on Dracotail until I've gone to the regional. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you do enjoy this video. Hope you have a great day, you know. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the intro. Peace. And here we go, guys, into game one. And this game's an interesting one, actually. We're actually versing a new deck. It's Magni Storm or something like that. It basically can use MST and actually negate. Yep, that's crazy, I know. I thought I'd include this one first. Mind you, I probably misplay quite a bit here because I already know what the deck does. But it is like the newest deck out, one of the newest decks. So I thought, hey, you know, might as well add it in. So obviously we have a nice hand here. Cartesia, Fur don't really help when going first. Lucius, Horn, and Ash. So obviously in this hand we're gonna normal summon Cartesia, because obviously if we normal summon Lucius and it gets negated, then guess what, our turn's over and that's it. Whereas if they negate Cartesia, we can still quick fuse on their turn. So yeah, 100% we normal Cartesia here. Cartesia fuse off, dumping the Fua because obviously we're gonna have no use for it, and obviously the Lucius to get the graveyard effect, and then we chain both. Arguably here we could chain it the other way round, so therefore our Talion protects the Lucius search, but here I just did chain it 1, chain it 2, put down the Rahu obviously for the extra fusion, and then the standard play, obviously Cartesia is a spellcaster, so we can turn it into spirit, and with 2 dragons makes the seal. So now we have a lovely seal. Rahu, we dump Urgula here to go into Gulamel. And then Urgula gets Flame and Horn. So we don't actually have access to our Femena here. I don't think we could have got it. Instead of searching for Flame, I guess we could have also put down a Key2 and then search for Mena. But the reason I did it this way is because this way guarantees both our trap cards. And obviously we have Seal, which can go into Malulu anyway to quick fuse on our opponent's turn. And we have the Ash, so let's get to their turn. Obviously, and Cartesia comes back to us at the end of the turn. Lovely card. And yeah, let's see what they do. So they straight away just use Mystical Space Typhoon. So obviously I just negate it because we get no value if we let this just go through. And obviously we don't really have a choice. But it's still good to use Flame here because obviously we can then start drawing a card. And if we drew into a hand trap, that'd be really good. And then he also uses Runic cards here. So he's actually playing like Runic Magnistorm. And I drew into a Nib, which is quite huge, right? Drawing into a Nib, bro. That's so free. But he then decides to use Hugin. I just ash it, you know. And then here I decide to immediately just get it off the field. This is kind of a misplay, I think. I think I should have held on to it for something else, because right now the Hugin isn't that much of a threat, like, let's be honest. But I did kind of just want to get rid of Hugin and get my Malulu out. So that's what I did. But as you see here, he then can kind of just continues his plays. So arguably I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. And then look at this. Here it is, Magnificestorming. It's a long name for an archetype, guys. But yeah, look, this card can be special summoned. So he's kind of playing around my Horn right now, which is kind of annoying. But we do still have Horn, a quick fuse, Gulamel, and Nib, which is nice. And like I said, I don't know too much about these cards. I just know they use MST, which is kind of funny. But I immediately, he's got 2 bodies now. I didn't really know what it did, but I thought maybe if I just quick fuse now with our Talion, I can bounce both of them back. So here we are. I then also set a Key2. Obviously, Key2's nice to set straight away. Obviously, we can't set the Flame because in the graveyard. But setting Key2's nice because obviously, if the turn switches over, they're most likely going to have a monster. So you get a search and a fuse, which is nice. And then obviously, those 2 get bounced, and he summons these 2 out. Luckily, these 2 both go into a attack position, so our Horn's now live, which is nice. And I believe I just Horn into Gulamel and pop both. Or not, I just Horn here, I guess. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I Horn there, but obviously it's blocked. But yeah, we bounce off that. And then he summons one final time, and obviously that's Nib right there. See, this is why these cards are so crazy, guys. These trap cards. The fact that you also get to just draw a card for no reason off of them is so nice. Because we drew into that nib. And let's be honest, his board was going to be a lot better if I didn't draw into that nib. But here I also decide to use Italian's effect to bounce back. Because obviously I didn't know what he had, but I thought we might as well guarantee another body. Obviously it can be troll sometimes doing that. Because if they have another play and they could just pop it, it goes straight to the banishment zone. So you'd rather just use it on your turn. But yeah, we use his effect there. Cartesia comes back obviously on my turn. And then he activates this new card. He activates Magnificent Storming. And look at this card, by the way. Look at this. Once per chain, when Mystical Space Typhoon is activated, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negates its effects. So guess what? MST does negate, which is kind of funny. But I'm pretty sure we just have bait this out. And then kind of just win the game by bouncing back the nib token, if I remember correctly. So we first use Urgula. Urgula gets back our normal summon. Bait out the key 2. I should have done this really. I mean, he didn't really have a choice. He had to negate this. But realistically, I should have used key 2 first. So like maybe he didn't know that Urgula could have bounced back my Lucius. So if I did this again, I would 100% obviously change the order like that way around. So yeah, that negates key 2. And then he gets out this bad boy. And then yeah, we normal summon Lucius. Lucius effect, get Famena. And then Famena fuse into our Thalion. And then obviously we chain back all of our stuff from the graveyard, obviously, because we fusion summoned 2 cards went to the grave. So our Talion and Gulamel comes back here. And then we bounce back the nib tokens. And that's just game, guys. These surrenders, obviously, we just have game on board there. But that is the new deck. It seems quite interesting, actually. But yeah, I'm not too sure what to think of it. But that is game 1. Alright, guys, on to game 2. Game 2, we are versing, that's right, Malice. And as you see from our hand, we have Famena, great to start with. Key 2, Fua, which obviously isn't because we're going first. Ghost Bell and Nib, and they drop Fua immediately. But that's fine, isn't it? So I start with Key 2 and I just grab the Lucius. Arguably, you can also obviously just grab other stuff here. So you could just grab like a Malulu if you're that worried. But we had the Famena in hand, so it's not too bad if Lucius gets negated. And Lucius is kind of another bait. You kind of want them to like ash Lucius here. Because obviously then your traps aren't going to get ashed, which is always a good sign. So normal Lucius here. Lucius gets Urgula. And then you obviously use Famena's effect here with the Urgula going to our Talion. And then obviously all of our spells will be placed in and onto the field. So we get Rahu and Flame. Obviously we've already used Key 2 now. And then we can then go into, obviously our Talion also bounce back our Famena. And then we Rahu with Famena. And we dump, I believe, Pan. And then obviously we've been able to set the other trap. And then we set another Key 2 for next turn. I like setting Key 2 more than Rahu, obviously, because if the turn comes back, then most likely having a monster on the field, like we've already said. So it's nice setting the Key 2 over the Rahu there. And we have the Pan in Graveyard, which is nice because it's Graveyard effect. And we can also bounce the Famena to hand with Urgula. So that is our board right there. Pretty standard here. And we're going into Malice here. He straight away imperms Gulamel, which is fine because we can just fuse off into it. And he just normal summons Dormouse 100% every time here. I just return that because obviously that's his normal summon gone now. We have to assume he has extenders obviously, but I thought I'd go to that straight away because also if you're using Horn straight away is also nice because obviously you get a draw. Possibly if we drew into an Ash there, that'd be big. But he goes into Malice in the Underground, so I just bell it. And then he has Gold Sarcophagus. Obviously, I do not want this card going off, bro. Banish one card. We've already negated 2 things, right? So his hand's already getting smaller, guys, if you know what I mean. So I was like, I decided to then straight away immediately flame here because I was like, I'm not letting this card resolve. I don't think he has much left. So we don't let that resolve. And once again, we get a draw off here. Drawing into draw, which was really nice. But he actually has another Malice in Underground. Banishes the Dormouse again. And then here, as soon as he puts Dormouse down, I'm thinking in my head that his hand's like that. You know what I mean? He's gone through so much stuff here. Like, I do not think he has much left in his hand. So I instantly go, like, quick fuse with Famena, go into Atalion, bouncing back the Dormouse, setting Horn, And there you go. I believe he surrenders there because obviously Malice is one of those, right? If you stop everything before he can even get going, then you're kind of chilling. So that's why immediately, obviously we could have got hard punished there. If he had another extender, then we were done for. But you know, by the game state and how it was getting played, it was kind of had to go for it. But yeah, that is game 2. Alright guys, into game 3, and this is an interesting game, right? This game wasn't too crazy or anything, but I wanted to show you it, because this game, the guy used Retaliating C and Contact C. He used both of them here, so I kind of show you, yeah, it kind of does screw over Dracotail a decent amount, so I thought I'd just quickly show a replay with one in, because this is the only guy that I've versed that's actually used it so far, so I was like, you know, I'm going to have to use this replay. But as you see here, our hand is Effect Veiler, Fua, Ash, Femena, and Ghost Ogre, and I believe we're going second here, and let's see how it goes. Straight away, obviously, you know, shotgun Fua, because I am that guy, you know what I mean. But yeah, so he starts off with engage, or just Asher, I guess. Arguably, you can Ash and engage is hard, like tough, like you want, you know what I mean, you don't really want them to just get like use engage for free, but there's a lot, like you kind of want to set it for the cup C or for like an obedient school, but he's starting engage here, so you know we kind of Ash it here, and then obviously, yeah, of course, yeah, he drew the obedient school. This is the problem, but you know, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? You know, so we Ashed that, but he had obedient school, so he gets them all out. But obviously, we still get draws here, and we're drawing into some good stuff like Rahu and Cartesia, which is nice, but we'd have preferably had hand traps. We do Effect Veiler this to stop him getting the field spell. And then he surprises for the cup seat. And then this is weird. He's grabbed Yummy Redemption, which is really strange. Maybe this, like, I don't know. People use that card, but each to their own, I guess. And this is even weirder. He ends phase, even though he's under obedient school. And if you haven't read here, the effects negated also. They're destroyed during the end phase. I'm guessing he either didn't care because he knows he can summon them back from graveyard, or he didn't know that. And he's like, you know what I mean. Either way, so they all go. But the main thing I wanted to cover was this. So straight away, I just Fua again because obviously Fua on my turn as well. Really nice for us. So really nice for us, obviously. So now we also get draws if he starts like putting down more synchros and links and all that. So we go with Rahu, and look, he straight away chains Retaliating C, guys. And then he also chains the Snatchy, but I just Ghost Ogre it to get rid of it. But yeah, read this card, look. When your opponent activates a spell card that includes an effect that special summons a monster quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, while this card is face up on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. This, guys, this will, you'll see why this is kind of crazy. So, I get Altalion, but look. I send the Malulu, and it's banished. Like, look at that, man. So then we can still luckily just bounce it. But look, we can't do anything. We have no follow-up. Look, like we didn't get to like set a trap or a spell or anything from a Lulu because it wasn't sent to the graveyard, right? So it's like, oh, this card actually is kind of crazy. So we just, you know, attack over Cupsy here. And yeah, we can't really do much apart from end our turn. Luckily, I'm pretty sure he draws into nothing here. So look, he ends his turn again. And then look, we drew into a Kitu, so it's like, oh. Obviously, I chained Kitu, but we already know he's got Retaliated C in hand because the last time we bounced it with our Talon, so he still has it. So we just pretty much, well, yeah, he gets it back out. So we normal summon Lucius effect, and then look, he drew into Contact C, guys. And then read this card. When your opponent normal special summons a monster except during the double step, you could special summon this card from your hand to the opponent's field in defense position. The card's controller cannot fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link someone unless they use this card as material. So if we don't have a way to link this off, we now can't fusion someone, which is another problem. So as you see here, I'm pretty sure I just go into SP here. I kind of had to, like, just to get it off my field. And at the time, I don't think I was running anything like Cross Sheep or anything. This was kind of like an earlier build. So I've just got SP here. So I just kind of link that off into SP. We attack a bit. But it's like, we finally now dealt with Contact C and Retaliating C. And then I just go into a Golemel here with Femena. So then that we can pop with his trap. And then we also get the set, so we can set the flame and pop everything, because Urgula pops the field spell. And we still, look at that, bouncing back our Femina with Urgula. And I believe this is where we win the game, guys. But I thought I'd show you that. Obviously, there was a few like bad interactions that game, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys, like, you gotta be prepared for this, for these random cards, man. Like, Retaliating Contact C, man. These cards are deadly, man. Alright, guys, into game 4. And this game we're versing a new deck as well, Artemage. So, you know, it got released. People are playing it. It's just kind of one of those more like sleeper picks and everyone's playing. But our hand is the Ghost Dogar with the beautiful altar, obviously. Femina, Effect Veiler, Lucius, and Kitu. So, with a hand like this, you kind of have loads of plays. You have the Kitu. You could go for this first if you wanted. But it's also good to hold on to the Kitu, right? Because if you start with Lucius and they do something, I don't know, to get a monster on the field or something, then your Kitu becomes twice as good. So, it's good to hold it. And Lucius here's a good bait. And then, once again, yeah, you have the Kitu and then the Femina as well to fuse with. But that's what we do. Yeah, see, like we went Lucius first here. Gets impermed. Do we care? No, we don't really care. That's kind of why we use it first, right? Sure, we go into Femina, go to Artalion. And then we can just start saying our Kitu here. Sorry, our Rahu. Obviously, Kitu, we grab Pan here. And then we use Rahu's effect. I believe we dump Urgula. And then we set our 2 traps with Pan Urgula here. And then obviously Urgula grabs back our Femina. And there we go. Standard build once again. You'll see this board 2 billion times if you play this deck, right? Got a Mail and an Artalion. And then a Flame and a Horn. Plus 2 hand traps, which is just lovely for us. And he straight away. Look how crazy this play was, guys. Super Poly into Secretariat Dragon against Dracotail. Bro, you gotta watch out for this tech, man. Like, Super Poly and just has the Secretariat Dragon in his deck, bro. Now, that kind of destroyed me there, but as you'll see, it's fine. Because look, the news is normal summon here. Obviously, I have to do something about this. So I straight away, before he can activate its effect, just bounce it back. Because obviously, it's a normal summon. Obviously, if he has extenders, whatever, but yeah, we straight away just horn that back and able to get a draw off it. And luckily, he had nothing else, so he just attacks us. But you'll quickly see, he goes to go to the end phase. And in the end phase, obviously, our Femina's once per turn, and we want to set up our board, right, before the end of the turn. So obviously, during the end phase, we use Femina's effect, go into Artalion, and then we get a bunch of sets, obviously. Bring back all of our cards. Get a Rahu, bounce, negate the Secretarian with Malulu as well. So we've actually stopped the Secretarian really floodgating our stuff here. And obviously he just scoops because, I mean, what's he going to do? I did think that was funny. That's why I included that. Super pulling a whole board away for a Secretarian Dragon, man. Like, come on, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the final game of the day. We are versing another Malice player here. And we have Malulu, Fua, Effect Veiler, Nib, and Kitu Dracotail. So, it is our opponent's turn going first. And I'm pretty sure I just shotgun the Fua after I see the field spell. He gets Dormouse. Dormouse comes back. Once again, Dormouse is on the field. I'm negating every time, okay? I'm negating Dormouse every time. So, yeah, we Effect Veiler that. He goes into Linkaribo. Gets out his Ignista cards. And look at this, right? So, that's 1, 2, 3 summons. He's about to special summon the Igniska and bring back the Dormouse, right? And that'll be 5 summons. And it's like, can he really extend through that? Probably not. So, summon them all back. And this is the perfect nib spot. Boom! There's the rock. Obviously, the Malice player gives up. Alright guys, and for the final game of the day, I thought I'd show you a funny replay actually. So we are versing Morganite Stun. If you didn't know, a bunch of more Morganite cards came out. So obviously people are playing this. But our hand is double Fenrir, Rahu, Flame and Urgula. And I believe we are going second. We drew none of our hand traps. That's the problem with Fenrir obviously. Sometimes you side it in because it's nice. But sometimes you wish it was a hand trap. But so he starts off with Extravagance here. digs his deck, uses duality, and look what he draws into. Have you read this card, guys? Look at this card, Inspector Border. I'm pretty sure you guys know what this card does, right? So yeah, he's pretty much just playing Morganite Stun. Luckily, I don't believe he drew any of his crazy Morganite cards. So he just summons it out and sets one. But I just thought, funny interaction. Obviously, we drew the Fenrirs, right? So look, we just first special summon the Fenrir. And then he chains his strike to it. Because obviously, Fenrir can just straight up out Inspector Border. He's got 2400 attack. But we drew 2 of them, boys. So we straight up just special summon another one. Go into battle phase, attack over it. So he has no more border. And then look, we bait out his purge. Like with the that's just great, right? Like we used his effect, we used Fenrir's effect to get to search, and then he purges, so we could just Rahu straight away. And then look, we could basically just go full combo here, because obviously his board's just gone now, because we literally. Oh man, Fenrir, man. Aside Fenrir, guys, that's the moral of this replay. Just have Fenrir in the side. It's good into loads of matchups this format. I don't like it in the main deck right now because I would prefer just having hand traps in the main deck, especially when you don't know what you're versing. But having Fenrir in the side deck is so nice right now. And I believe we just end the game here. I believe he scoops in a minute because... Oh, no, we couldn't end the game, could we? Sorry, I'm a fool. We can't end the game because we had to attack over the... We had to take over the Inspector Border, but obviously our board's chill now. We got the Gulamel, we got the Flame, the Horn, we got Famena. And I believe we just stopped this here. Yeah, we just stopped this because obviously, remember his hand was pretty bad last time. He couldn't set anything, do you remember? So it kind of means that it's like, I just negate this because we know his hand's not too crazy right now. And obviously we could draw into Saiyan, which we drew to a Ghost Ogre, which is great for us. But he did have another pot, which is, you know, it is what it is. But he didn't really draw into it much. So, drew to duality. So once again, he could dig a little further. But it's too late by now. You know what I mean? We've got a full board. Even when he has to normal summon in border. So obviously, it's just like going on to our Horn. So I believe, yep, Horn, and we win the game. But anyway, guys, that was the last duel I wanted to showcase, you know, just fun little Fenrir interaction. Without further ado, I'll see you in the outro. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you did spot anything I did wrong, let me know in the comments, because you know I love learning myself. And if you found anything out or you just generally enjoyed this video, then yeah, stay tuned for more. But anyway guys, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.